Howdy, everybody. It's Chad here again. I'm just going to tell everybody I appreciate all the comments and all the subscribers. I think in October, I think Daddy had 5,200, or I think it's 5,280, I believe, in October. And now I think he's up to 5,470. So apparently we're doing something good because he's getting more subscribers, so that's a good thing. So I want to tell everybody thank you. If you know anybody, or if you don't care to share his page and everything, try to get as much subscribers as he can. It helps Mom out in the long run for all that, but that's basically why I do this for it. It helps her. I ain't gonna lie, it does bring in a little bit of extra money for her, so it helps her in that sense. It ain't a lot, but every little bit helps right now. So, but I was gonna tell everybody that I guess everybody knows me and Dad, we always fish together. And you can tell I got the St. Croix shirt on for the rods. Me and him went up there one day at Sporting Goods place, and we both got one. And I guess that's the most we ever paid for a fishing pole. I think it's like $100 a piece. But I was going to show everybody this one. He's had for years. But this is old, I think he said he got it at Kmart. But it's an old Daiwa. I think that's how you say that. That's how I always say it. But it's a Daiwa 7250 RLA. And as far as I know, this has been on just about every fishing trip we've ever been on. We'd always take it. I wish I knew somebody could do the recork the handle on it. I'd like to. I really don't know if it's an expensive rod or not because it don't have no name. I don't know if anybody can see that. Somebody might could help me out on a name for that. But I'm pretty sure it's not an expensive outfit back in the day. But I wouldn't take nothing for it. But Dad always told me, he said, whenever something happened to him, he always wanted me to have this in my boat. So I don't have a boat now, but I can remedy that problem pretty quick. But we used to go all the time, just me and him. We'd leave and go, and we actually got to go about 3 years ago, I guess it was. We went to Lake George down in Florida, and we loaded up a boat. I took my old Norris Craft. We took it. We took the old Norris Craft. I had that Suburban. We loaded up, I think it was the end of January. No, it was in December because I was on vacation. And we went down to Lake George in Florida. We stayed at a little old cabin down there. It was, I can't remember, Lake George Marina. Lake George Marina RV Resort, I think it was. It's a pretty neat place. It wasn't real fancy, but, it done us good. But we got down there and had a little old cabin we stayed in. I think we stayed about 3-4 days. And we'd go out, and it was different fishing than we'd ever seen because the lake, for one, was real shallow. And I asked the guy, I said, where do we need to run at? And he told us, he said, just run the main channel. Well, even in the main channel wasn't, but the deepest part I ever seen in the whole lake was like 14 foot deep. The rest of it was like 6 to 8 foot deep. And we'd be out there fishing, and I'd never been to Florida. And we got down there, and, me and Dave was joking about going down there. He's like, yeah, we might catch alligator or something. And I was kind of thinking that the alligators wouldn't, you wouldn't see that many. But we get down there, we start fishing, we start seeing alligators everywhere. There's like 3 or 4 around the boat and all this stuff. And I had on a big frog, and I'd throw it up in the weeds, and all of a sudden you'd see a big old alligator just coming out of the weeds to get it, and I'd hurry and reel it back in. And we had one little alligator. He was probably, I don't know, he was about yay big. But he'd swim up to the boat, and he'd turn around and go back. And we was using live minnows, or shad, and he was wanting one of them so bad. But we stayed down there. We had a pretty good trip. We didn't catch that many fish, though. We should have just went down there. We shouldn't have took a boat. We should have just went down there and got a guide is what we should have done. We'd have probably been better off because we had no idea how to fish that. It was just the grass and everything was so thick. But we went out. We tried to fish at night. Of a day, it was still like 90 degrees. It was hot. So we went out that night, and I've never seen so many bugs in my life. I mean, the bugs would just, they would just carry you off. I mean, they would be bugs everywhere. And we finally fished for about an hour and a half, I guess, and finally, no, this ain't gonna work. So we went back in, and we talked to some guys down there, and there was one guy. He actually followed the bass spawn every year. He lived in Texas, but he'd start in Florida and he'd work his way back home. And he was a good guy. He had a massive heart attack and he was on disability. And Daddy told me I should have went out with him, and we should have went out with him. We should have went out in his boat because he had a little old boat he pulled behind his camper. But yeah, we should have went out with him because he was catching 4 or 5 a day, down there by himself. And he caught one that was a little over 10 pounds. But yeah, he was a pretty cool character. We was eating supper one night, and we all got out there and just bull crapping around with each other and talking and all that. But it was a good trip. We wanted to go back the next year, and we never did. But that's one of them deals, you wish you had of, but you didn't. But it was pretty fun. Let's see, I was trying to think if anything exciting really happened, but it was just a regular trip. I mean, we had a good trip down there. We stayed in a motel going down, and everything was pretty nice. But yeah, I was just gonna show everybody his fishing pole. But that's his. He's had that ever since he was, I forget what age he got that at. But as far as I remember, that's went on every trip we've ever been on that I know of, because we always had it in the boat. So, but like I said, I don't know if anybody knows anything about cork handles, but if anybody give me some pointers on maybe how to patch this up a little bit, but I'm not sure if you can or if you can't or what. But pretty neat little history here. So, but anyway, well, I was just going to share that with everybody. Thought it was pretty neat. So I hope y'all have a good day, and we'll get out of here. And I appreciate all the subscribers, and if you know anybody else, send them this way to subscribe to his channel, because I think I'd like to keep putting them up and up and up if I can, because he really wanted a lot of subscribers, so that's what I'm doing this for. So hopefully we can get it up there. I'd like to get up to around 10,000 if I could, but I know that's a big thing. But we're at 5,400 now, so he's brought it this far, so we're going to keep taking it and see how far it goes. So anyway, well, I hope y'all have a good day, and hopefully spring is around the corner and we can get out there and do some fishing. I know me and Mama's, we're going to do some fishing, so she's already talked about wanting to go. So that is what we're going to do. I've still got my little John boat, so we're going to do some fishing here probably about another 2 or 3 weeks. But anyway, all right, guys, I appreciate you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting, all that good stuff, and we'll talk with y'all later. Bye.